Hello guys, welcome to another Jira Administration tutorial from rcvacademy.com. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how you can edit the Jira workflow for any particular project. And then after editing, what all important things you need to keep in mind and how you can implement the workflow as per the requirements of your particular project. So let's get started. So we are already in the ROP project. So the first thing you need to do is you need to go into the project for which you want to edit the Jira workflow. So I'll go to the view all projects. Say for example, I want to edit the workflow for RCV Academy online portal project. I'll go to the project, and in this project, go to the project settings. So in the left hand corner, you will see the project settings cogwheel. If you click on that, in the workflows section in the project settings, that's the workflow section. If you click on it, it will bring you to the workflows. And workflow is nothing but it's basically how your issue is going to transition from start to finish. So as you can see, the issue types in the current project are story, bug, epic, task and subtask, and all these issue types are associated with this simplified workflow for project ROP. Right now, if we click on this particular workflow, you will see it's the simplified workflow. There are 3 stages here: to do, done and in progress. And if you see all the issues, or it doesn't matter which state the issue is, so this all arrow to a particular transition means that an issue can transition from any state to any state. There is no restriction as such if you have enabled all the issues or all statuses to transition to a particular state. And that's why this is the most simple and simplified workflow. In the actual scenarios, this is not the case, because you need to do a lot of customization as per the development team that are working and the way they want their custom workflow to be defined. Now, once you get that detail that what all steps need to be added or deleted, or how the workflow needs to be defined, you then come to the Jira project admin, or you come to the Jira project admin settings, and then from here you can click on edit and start editing this particular workflow. Before actually doing or editing the workflow, there is a lot of business analysis work required. As an administrator, you need to get to the right set of stakeholders, get all the requirement, what exactly they are looking for, do the whiteboard, do a demo, like workflow, show it to everyone and make sure that it fits the purpose for all the teams before you actually go ahead and start editing the workflow. Because editing the workflow is the simplest stuff that you will be finding, but making sure that the particular edited workflow or the finalized workflow that you're working on is suitable for the teams or the stakeholders for whom you are editing this workflow is more important. So getting that right set of requirement is very important. So let's see, for example, this particular workflow, I have got the finalized requirement from my stakeholder that yes, this is the simplest workflow that we'll be continuing with. The only change we want in this workflow is to add the reopen state to this workflow, and then we'll just add a reopen state to it. So how you can go ahead and edit this workflow, just click on the edit button here, and it will open the edit window. Right, so at the top, if you see, as soon as you click on edit, it will open in the draft state. So you can't edit a live workflow. It will create a draft of the workflow that you are going to edit, and then once you are done with the editing, you can then publish or discard the changes. So if you are happy with your changes, you can simply publish and then test it. So let's add a new status. Okay, so if you click on show transition label, it will show you the labels. So for example, from here it shows you the create label. Okay, so now we want to add a new status, so I'll click on add status and I'll say reopen. And if you choose allow all statuses to transition to this one, which is what my stakeholders asked for, I'll just check that box and click on add. And now you can see that this particular reopen state has been added. And now I'll do a bit of cleanup here. We'll move done at the bottom, in progress, and then reopen. Right, so this is once you are done with the editing part, then you can simply publish the change, or you can discard if you're not happy. So if I go ahead and publish, then we can go back and check whether the reopen state is available for the issues in this particular project. So at the moment you can see used by 5 issue type. That means if you click on this 5 issue type, what issue types are using this workflow? All the issue type bug, epic, story, subtask and task are using the same workflow. Now in most of the project, the requirement will be a bit different. Bugs will follow a different workflow and all other issue type might follow a different workflow. So it depends what sort of requirement is within the project. You might have to come up with multiple workflows and associate different issue type with the different workflows. So let's go ahead and go back to the workflows. Now because we have edited this workflow, you can see this workflow in a text mode as well. So this is how the text mode will look like. So to do, in progress, done, and reopen. Reopen is the new transition or state we have added, right? Let's go back and try to create an issue and see that we are getting the workflow that we. So I'll just say test issue and create this particular issue. So this is the story, and because all our issues are following the same workflow, so we should be able to transition story in the same way. So at the moment you can see you are getting, so it's in the to do state, and then you can move it to in progress, or you can move it to done or reopen. So reopened is the new one that we have added, right? So once I move it to in progress, the status will change to in progress, and you can view the workflow here as well, the updated workflow that we just updated. So we had updated, or we had added reopened state in the new workflow, so that is visible here. Now once it is in progress, you can go to either done, and then once it's done, you can just check whether you are able to transition issue from done to reopen, because reopen is the new state that we created in the workflow, right? So that's pretty much how you are going to create or basically edit a workflow, and then if required, you can add new transitions to the workflow as well. So we'll go to the project settings again, and say for example you do not want to edit the existing workflow, you want to create a new workflow altogether. So if you want to create the new workflow, what you need to do is, you cannot do it from the project admin or within the project. So like we were in the project settings previously. So if you go to project settings and go to the workflows, you can edit the existing workflow, or you can add the existing workflow or import from the bundle, and if you switch scheme, then you can switch the workflow scheme from the project space. You can choose some other scheme. However, if you want to create the workflow from scratch, you have to go to the project administration section, the Jira administration section, and from the Jira administration section go to the issues, and below issues go to the workflows. Now here you will have all the workflows that are available. If there are some inactive workflows, they will be available in the inactive section here, so that you can see these are the workflows that are there, but they are not associated and not active to any project. Now if you want to add a workflow from scratch and you want to design your own workflow, if you have very specific requirement in your project, just click on the add workflow, provide the name of the workflow, and it will open the workflow page, and here you can start adding the statuses and transition as per the requirement within your project. Once you're happy with the particular workflow and your stakeholders are happy, then you can associate it with the particular project and make it active. So that we'll cover in the later tutorials. So that's pretty much all about the editing of the existing workflow from the Jira project administrator, and then how you are going to go ahead and navigate for creating a new workflow altogether. So hope you like the video. Please do share and subscribe, and thank you for watching.